following is a sponsored program. High Desert Broadcasting is not responsible for the views or claims expressed in this program.
There we go.
There we go.
Welcome to AVNewsCast.com on News Talk 1380. Got Shauna on the board today.
Yeah, it's nice to have Shauna producing our show today. No,
and a full broom closet.
It's all good. We're gonna
couldn't fit a Swiffer in here.
We're gonna have a really great show today. And before I bring on our guest, I happened yesterday. I was with you, Jeff, yesterday early evening. Okay.
Yes.
Walked out to my car and saw this really cool Ford Transit van, and I immediately knew who they were.
Yep.
Okay. So I just want to give them a shout out.
I've seen that thing all over the place.
Boardwalk Contractors.
Yes.
Cool. They've got some really great trucks, but you know, it's really neat about these guys, and this is, it's not like I'm doing a testimonial because I haven't used them, but I know a lot of people that have. Chuck has. Oh, we got Chuck Simons in the house, and he knows them. I saw a lot of testimonials from the city of Lancaster. Okay, I mean, when you get government, you know, putting a testimonial on your website, that's a good thing. Remax All Pro, Lance Campers, president of Lance Campers, they did a lot of work for them too. They're great people. A neat thing about them though is if you've got an emergency, you give them a call. They guarantee to have somebody out to your place within 60 minutes.
Wow.
Okay, try to find a contractor that does that.
No joke.
Okay.
All it does for me, I see Boardwalk, I think Monopoly, then I think about the time I don't spend playing board games with my children and start feeling guilty. And
then you go home and play.
Then I go home and they're all on the computer. And what's that?
And then it's over.
Yeah.
You got a free get out of jail card.
That's true. Yeah. On the back of my car, yeah.
You do? Where do
you do too.
Yes.
I do?
We all have one on the back
yeah,
of
that's
our car.
right. Yeah, I do, on the back of the car. That's true. Free get out of jail. Anyway, so I just wanted to give a shout-out to these guys because they're great. I know some of the people involved. But if you're looking for a great contractor, and here, what a small world, because I just mentioned them, and Chuck goes, oh, I know them. I've used them. Okay?
Yep.
So that's all good stuff. So if you're looking for somebody great, reach out to them. It's Boardwalk Contractors, and I'll give you a phone number. It's area code 661-349-7317. Or you can check them out on the internet at boardwalkcontractors.net. Great organization, really good guys, and very cool trucks. Okay. Can we move on?
Yeah.
All right.
Let's.
Harsh segue.
Yes.
All right. Oh, we've got Michael Stein in town, by the way.
Yeah.
And,
I was kind of hoping to see him here.
It was funny because
I don't know where we would have put him, but
he
could have sat on my lap.
He checked in on Facebook at LAX. And you know what's funny is people in the Antelope Valley saw that, and they're saying, welcome.
Yeah.
Nice to have you in town.
That's nice.
Yeah, that was kind of cool. That was kind of cool. All right, we've got a really, really cool show today. We've got a guest. Her name is Kate. Kate is the founder and executive director of an organization called Cherished. Welcome, Kate.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. You know, Kate, as I told you before the show, I checked out your website. I looked up a little bit about you, okay, and your story, okay? And I can talk about that, right? A little bit? Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. You
Yes.
got, I know. My back's going to be to you.
This way so you can
Okay.
feel like you're a part of it.
Okay,
Instead of
thanks.
staring at the Jack in the Box.
You know, we've talked a lot on this show about sex trafficking before, and how prevalent it is in L.A. County, how prevalent it is across the country. And a lot of people really don't realize that. But when you originally came to California, to Hollywood, you got caught up in that,
Yes.
right?
Yes, I did.
And I want to talk about that a little bit, okay? How you got caught up in that. And that's, you know, we hear the stories of, you know, a girl comes from Kansas, gets off the bus, and is in the next thing you see. And it's been in the movies, and then now she's caught up, and she's caught up in dancing or stripping or prostitution or whatever it is. you're somebody that has gone full circle because you got caught up in it and you got out of it, and now you work day and night to help girls that are caught up in that.
Yes, that's right.
What happened with you? Tell us a little bit about your story.
Well, I was raised in Georgia, and I was raised by basically a single mom because my father died when I was very young. And I was always looking for that affirmation from a man, really. And that led me to being promiscuous and getting pregnant at an early age and having an abortion because I was afraid of telling anybody about that, and I was ashamed. And so usually when something like that happens, for me anyway, I began to do a lot of drugs to just suffocate the shame that I had been through. I ended up, I was in a band for a while on the East Coast and traveled around just doing a lot of partying, really, and always had my sights sort of set on coming to LA and getting into the music industry. And so when I finally got a chance, I got on an airplane and I flew out here. I knew one person who worked at a pretty well-known recording studio in Hollywood, and I called him and said, "Hey, I'm here." And he said, "Oh, well, I'm in a session right now, but hang on, and we'll send somebody to pick you up." So a couple hours later, and almost spending all of my money at the bar, realized he wasn't coming, called him back, and he said, "No, I can't make it, but could you take a cab?" Well, I'm just a Southern girl. I don't know LA, so I had no idea. It was a good $80 to $90 ride from LAX into Hollywood. So that was just about all I had on me. But I got to the studio and ended up going to his place for the evening and slept on his couch. And his girlfriend came in the next day and saw that, and she said, she wasn't having any of it. So she said, no, she has to get out of here. So he made a phone call to someone, and the next thing I knew, I was being dropped off at a beautiful house up in the hills, and the guy came out and said, "You can have a place to stay and a car to drive in exchange for sex."
Just straight up.
Straight up.
No pretense, no.
Nope. This is how it is. Welcome to LA.
Wow.
Yep.
Was he a lot older than you?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Is this the guy that you mentioned? It was a semi-famous film producer?
No.
No. Okay.
So
and you took him up on it.
I had no choice.
Yeah, what else do you do?
I had no money. I had, what was I going to do? I just had no idea what to do. So that's what I did. And after a while, I had met some girls that worked in the strip club, and, they knew I was driving the car and how I was getting to work. And so they were like, "Girl, you should just, go to the club and make the money yourself. Mm-hmm. Get out of that." So it sounded good to me, at least for a temporary thing, and so that's what I did. I ended up in the strip club. And
can I ask you something?
Yeah.
Did you ever meet one woman that did the strip club that was struggling through college to be a doctor?
I do have friends.
That's what they all say.
Yeah.
I do have friends that were in college when they became strippers, but not to be a doctor.
But
women are coming from all different directions. If the thing that you have to realize is that women are drawn to an industry like that because ultimately they're looking for love. It's not just about the money. And the money speaks loud after a while.
The money is the cover.
Yeah. And you begin when you're doing drugs, you're not really clear. Mm-hmm. And you just get in more and more, and one day leads to the next, and you're just living in a completely different world. You're living in a nightlife, and it's a completely different world.
So your perception, is there a viable network of employees that do this that's okay in the head, or do you see the industry as just disgusting? Because that's how I see it. I see it as just an opportunistic, exploited, disgusting place.
Strip clubs?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, all of them. that men go and they could care less about what damage it's putting on that woman.
Well, there are
Or that
different,
young girl.
in the beginning, there is some glamour to it. And you think that you're, something else. For me, I thought that I was going to meet the producer, they were going to discover me somehow. And I actually did get sort of discovered in a way of dancing. I got to do some choreography for 2 films. And so, you do get these little things sort of like, kind of like a little bone thrown at you that you kind of keep you hanging on.
Why, because you met a producer in the club or something like that?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay.
And I ended up, getting a few things like that. But ultimately, I couldn't keep a job. I was on a late night dance show that used to air right after Arsenio Hall and Dating Myself. And, yes, but I couldn't keep that kind of a job, something that I really would have loved to have had when I first got here. But now I'm in so deep and just not, I'm on drugs. So how can you keep a good job like that?
Right.
Eventually. You can fool people for a while, but eventually.
Now, how soon after do you start stripping does the other thing get introduced to you?
Well, for me, it was introduced first, you're talking about prostitution and things like that. So, but after you're in the club and the customers come in, you begin to justify I can make a little more money and I'm already taking everything off anyway. I worked in totally, from bikini bars to totally nude. So you just begin to say, well, I'm already doing this, so whatever. And for a little more money, go ahead. Or you begin to think that these people, somehow you actually can make yourself believe that someone cares about you. And because you need that so badly.
It's amazing. I have a niece. I told you off air. I have a niece that got caught up in it. And, she had some abuse that occurred to her. And I totally understand that. But the part that doesn't register for me is that she was still surrounded by so much other love. And for someone to be in your existence for 3 or 4 months to get you to the point where you're believing that Kool-Aid that you're drinking on every day is just amazing to me. And I just feel like, it's so sad that young girls are selling themselves out. And, it just seems like just a bunch of people that are just so hurt and damaged.
Exactly.
That we need to say no to these strip clubs and figure out how we can help these young girls, because it's not about what they're doing. It's about the fact that these are damaged, abused, injured young women that need help.
Well,
which is why they're so vulnerable.
Yeah.
Right? Can we take a quick break?
yes.
All right. Let's take a quick break. You're listening to the #1 news talk radio program in the Antelope Valley, AVNewsCast, and we'll be right back.
With a strong tradition of excellence in Catholic education, Paraclete High School remains the top choice for students in the Antelope Valley. Hello, this is Greg Bernias, Director of Admissions at Paraclete, inviting you to our open house this Saturday at 1 p.m. Are you looking for a safe campus, grounded in faith with a college preparatory curriculum? Then Paraclete is the best choice for your child. Paraclete is proud to have the one-to-one iPad program in our classrooms, Wi-Fi throughout the campus, and renovated science labs that ensure our students are prepared for college. 99% of our graduates continue on their education while earning millions of dollars in college scholarships every year. The complete education at Paraclete with championship athletics and a vibrant arts program help mold the future leaders of tomorrow.
Hi, my name is Gabby, and I plan to study psychology at Notre Dame next fall. I would like to invite you to attend Paraclete High School's open house this Saturday at 1 p.m. on 30th Street West near Avenue M. Get a free tour and come meet our talented staff. Call 943-3255. That's 661-943-3255.
My name is Karen. Did you know that your insurance pays 50 to 80% of your dental fees? Did you know that if you don't use your insurance, you will lose your benefits that you've paid for this year? If you don't use your benefits now, you start all over. Take it from me, don't put off your dental work until the new year. Make your resolution for your mouth now. Use the benefits that you've already paid for and get you and your family's dental work done today. I learned my lesson last year the hard way and will be sure to have my family's dental work done before the year is over. Thanks to Dr. Reed at Boulevard Dental.
Hi, this is Dr. Reed Brewster from Boulevard Dental Group. Karen's right. Don't wait to see what's going on in your mouth until next year. I don't want to see you lose $1,500 and urge you to use your benefits now. You've paid for it. Give us a call at Boulevard Dental Group. If you don't have dental insurance, we offer a $5 exam for all new patients, and we use state-of-the-art digital x-rays, which use 80% less radiation than conventional film. And if you're apprehensive, we have oral sedation to set you at ease. So give us a call at 947-7737. That's 947-7737.
Go into the song and dance.
Welcome back to AVNewsCast.com on News Talk 1380.
Kate, okay, so just a little bit more about your story. Okay, so you got caught up in that and the prostitution and the dancing and the stripping and all that stuff. And then I'm going to fast forward. And then you found yourself in a lot of trouble. You found yourself getting arrested, going to jail, all that kind of stuff. Finally got out. And we talked a little bit about it, and hopefully you're not going to get mad at me.
No.
But we talked a little bit about you spent some time in civil brand where you're trying to fight your charge. You had a private attorney, and your private attorney was a client.
Yes.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's like made for the movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. But and then finally, then you got out, and now it's gone full circle.
Was he an attorney in Sherman Oaks?
Really?
I'm not going to say
Well, you think?
Because I might know who he is.
I'm not saying.
Really?
Yeah.
You run in an interesting circle, Angelina.
I'll
Okay.
tell you on a commercial.
Okay.
Keep the mics on during the break. And then you went full circle. Because now what you do is you spend your time helping girls that are caught up in this, okay? And sex trafficking is that's an overall, in there you've got prostitution, you've got stripping and dancing and all that kind of stuff, right? And girls that are, stuck in the house. And you even told me about a term, where there's stuff going on. The boyfriend's like the pimp. And this is going on in the Antelope Valley as well?
Yes, it is. Right here in our backyard. More women are employed by the sex industry than any other time in history, and that's through exploitation, which can be, stripping or pimping, trafficking, pornography. So, yeah, that definitely happens right here, and people just don't realize that's going on. And the term I used was lover boy pimp.
Yeah, lover boy pimp. That's right.
That is, for me, was the situation. I worked in a club, and he was a client. And, he just really, as most of these guys will do, preyed on my vulnerability. And at the time, I was still kind of young into the California, to the LA scene. And so I was very nervous and afraid of how to even survive out here. And basically, he just friended me and then became my boyfriend and ultimately became a trafficker. So what they do is, that's where the term lover boy pimp comes from, because it's where they can persuade the girls that they are for them and that they care for them. And, eventually these girls will end up giving them all their money, going to work, coming home, and turning it over.
Now, a trafficker, that's just a pimp, right?
Well,
is that, am I right or am I wrong or what?
Trafficking is, let me just give you the definition over that.
Good.
Just because people are so confused about what is going on. And trafficking is women being brought in from other countries or being taken here to other countries. We know that during the big sporting events, we have a lot of trafficking going on during the Mardi Gras, during the Super Bowl,
What do you mean? They're taking them from the streets?
There are a lot of girls that are being trafficked during that time.
Or exported from one state to another?
Mm-hmm, yes.
Because it's a convention.
Yes.
They got to go make money.
Yes, because
the Shriners are in town.
No.
No. Oh.
Okay.
No. Chuck's
So-
going to beat me up when I leave the door.
Yeah, because human trafficking is more lucrative than, drugs or guns right now. So
Really?
Yes, and they say that 50% are children and 80% are women.
Drugs?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it'd be like
Yes.
selling your drugs and then getting them back afterwards.
It's
to
actually
resell
safer
over and over.
for the criminals, for the trafficker. It's actually safer because then it just looks like they're traveling with someone. Or,
Especially because they brainwash them. And it's like, if you're questioned, like when my niece was caught up, I asked her, what was she doing? I thought she'd be so embarrassed and just melt. And she said to me, "You're just jealous because you can't do it." And I just, to this day...
You wanted to knock her out with that one, huh?
Yeah, you know me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to beat her. But I was like, I can't because,
Well, and, she probably didn't really have another answer. She wanted not to tell you that she really wanted to get out, too, deep inside. So there's...
Well, we snatched her after
we say
that when we're
things.
done. And it's also amazing how brazen these pimps are. Mm-hmm. Because I remember going out to the car and saying, "Are you kidding? Like, shouldn't you be embarrassed or just like run from me? You're really gonna try to act like this woman belongs to you?"
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you met a couple of those guys?
Not a couple. He came to my house to pick her up.
Really?
And someone told me that he was there, and I said, "No, you're kidding. I know he's not here."
Wow. Now, Kate, you were caught up, for like 10 years?
Yes, 10 years.
Okay, during that 10 years, how long were you still caught up in it when you wanted to get out? I mean, you wanted to get out after you were in there for 3 years, caught up in the system, but you couldn't, and it took you 7 more years. I mean, what finally got you out?
I don't really know exactly at what point that I just knew I was really done. Probably after, some of the things that started to happen to me, and I found myself in scary situations, life-threatening situations, and not, realizing this isn't really what I signed up for. It's not all that it was cracked up to be. And I would say that last time when I was in jail, I, just wanted to change. I wanted to change. I wanted a life change. But what do you put on your resume? And how do you get another job? What do you say?
Choreographer.
How many, jobs are there available for that out here? So, it was very difficult. And I ended up, after I got out of jail, I went back to the club thinking, okay, I'm just going to go back and make this little bit of money to get on my feet. And how many times we've all said that to ourselves. But when I went in, the last time was on my 30th birthday, and I just looked around the club, and for the first time it seemed like the lights were on, literally, and I just saw it for what it was, and it did look dirty to me at that point. And it did look, it was like I saw myself for the first time, and what I had been doing.
So what was the action? What was the first step on getting out?
Well, I just went into the dressing room, and I just told the girls that this is it. I'm out of here. You'll never see me again, and gave away all my costumes so I could make sure that I wouldn't have, a way to just run out and go get into another club if I wanted to. And
walked out. No retribution, no...
Walked out.
That was it.
Yep.
You hear the story of girls that want to get out, but whoever's keeping them or whoever the pimp is or whatever, or this and this and this, they can't because they're afraid that if they do, they're going to get beat up, dragged, hurt, harmed, killed,
Or
brought
the family
back.
hurt. Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Right.
But that goes on, right?
Right, that's right.
Is there safe havens that they could go to?
There are, but, it takes a long time, first of all, for a girl to get to that place where she's ready to walk away. And sometimes they will even walk away and then go back. Relapse is part of the recovery of getting out of this. It took me a whole 10 years to get out of it. So we're not looking, expecting to see any changes overnight, but we are just a constant reminder to the girls that we know what it's like, we know what you're going through, and we're there for you when you're ready to come out, and just offer them a place where they can get support and counseling and a community, a safe community, because that's the first step. So,
okay, let's take a quick break, and then I want to talk about that because I want to talk about what Cherished is all about and what you're doing for the girls and how you can help and how everybody, all our listeners, you've got 25,000 plus people listening to you right now, how they can help the organization as well. So stand by. You're listening to AV Newscast on News Talk Radio, and we'll be right back.
There's a school in Palmdale that's become the talk of the town. It's called the Guidance Charter School, and many parents say it's magical. The Guidance Charter School is WASC certified, scored 783 in academic performance, and has an educational curriculum that exceeds what the state of California recommends. The curriculum is enriched through age-appropriate exposure for information technology, arts, foreign language such as Arabic, and physical education. The Guidance Charter School is now going to have a full CIF sports program with soccer, basketball, track, cheerleading, and more. They're an open enrollment school, publicly funded, and have been in business for 12 years, fully approved by Palmdale School District. The Guidance Charter School has small class sizes such as 20 students in grades K through 3, 25 in 4 through 8, and just 30 students in grades 9 through 12. Call the Guidance Charter School in Palmdale today at 661-272-1701. That's the Guidance Charter School in Palmdale, 661-272-1701. And check out their website at thegcs.org. A better high school choice.
If you're thinking about getting your backyard in shape for entertaining, there's only one place to shop, and that's Avnc Outdoors in Palmdale. At Avnc Outdoors in Palmdale, you'll save up to 70% off retail every day at our factory warehouse showroom. Avnc has everything you need to get your backyard in shape, like 7.5-foot tall, 41,000 BTU, freestanding LPG patio heaters for just $159.99. How about a fully enclosed backyard gazebo? Fire up that barbecue and enjoy a nice meal inside one of our Mandalay, Trinidad, or Mykonos freestanding gazebos, just $219.97 every day. If you want wholesale prices, come to Avnc Outdoors in Palmdale. How about backyard shade or car canopies? You can pick a variety of color choices starting at just $129.97. Stop by Avnc Outdoors in Palmdale. We're located at 38940 Trade Center Drive, 1 block east of 10th Street West. The Avnc Factory Showroom is open from 8 to 4 every day. That's Avnc Outdoors at 38940 Trade Center Drive in Palmdale, where you'll save up to 70% off retail every day. Check us out on the web at avnc.com or give us a call at 661-480-1562.
And welcome back to AVNewsCast.com on News Talk 1380.
Kate, you want to talk about trafficking.
Yeah, give us a little idea about what exactly it is.
Okay. So the definition for trafficking is the recruitment, transportation, transfer, harboring, or receipt of persons by means of threat or use of force or other forms of coercion, of abduction, of deception, of the abuse of power, or of a position of vulnerability, or the giving or receiving of payments, benefits, to achieve the consent of a person having control over another person for the purpose of exploitation.
Okay, so basically it's screwing with their mind.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Did you just read like the legal statute?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not necessarily running like picking up somebody out of the San Fernando Valley and shipping them off to Saudi Arabia. It could be across state lines, across just moving them somewhere away from their families where they could have even more control.
Yeah. Or bringing the girls to the desert where people think they're not going to be seen very much, you know.
It almost sounds like a domestic violence where you've got, don't tell your mom about this.
Mm-hmm.
If you tell your mom, I'm going to do something to your little
That's
brother.
the coercion end, yeah.
Now, Kate, right now what you try to do is Cherished tries to help these girls that want to get out, okay?
Yes.
In my mind, and I mentioned this earlier, I'm thinking kind of a, Dog the bounty hunter kind of thing. You make a phone call, I need to get out, here come the Marines, they storm the house.
Be. Yeah.
That's how it should be.
Take the pimp, he's out in Cal City in the desert somewhere, leave him out there.
Yeah, one of them Ransburg holes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. But that's really not what happens, right?
Well, no, because, that's not really what we're looking at. You're seeing these people every day and don't even know it. You may be seeing these girls every day. You may be seeing the guys who are doing it to them. And they don't look like what you might think they look like.
No big hats.
So, yeah.
And purple suits.
So, it all sounds great and looks good on paper, but that's not exactly what we're dealing with.
So what is Cherished doing?
We are a support group for the girls, and we offer them counseling and a safe community to get involved in. We have jewelry. We have a studio that we are making jewelry that is sold in a fair trade catalog, that the girls themselves are making the jewelry. They're learning how to operate a business, and and they're getting their value and their worth in something. So we are encouraging them to be creative and to find out who they were created to be. So that's what we're doing with them.
Okay, so you're a girl and you're caught up in trafficking, okay, in the broad sense, regardless of what it is, and you want to get out. They can make a phone call to you, and are girls doing that? And you can help them?
Yes,
you can refer them to another agency? I mean, do you have, you've got a confidential 911 to the Marines, and the Marines will go get them out? Walk me through it. Say you're a girl here in the Antelope Valley. You're living with a guy, and he's forcing you to turn yourself out every night, and you hooked up on drugs, and you don't know where to turn. What do you do?
Well, first of all, we wait for the girls. We are there for them when they're ready. So we're not going out there and storming down anything. When the girls call us, they are ready to talk to somebody, and maybe they are only ready to talk that day. Maybe they come in, they see us, we have a conversation with them, and if they want to come back, they can come back and work with us, and we will offer them the therapy and the support that they need. Like I said, it's a long process. Sometimes going back to that, boyfriend or pimp or whatever is more comfortable for them at that time. So we aren't forcing anything. We're just there for the girls when they're ready. So when they call us, it's because they want to call us.
But if they were ready, if they came to your door and said, "I'm done," you'd be able to just do whatever you needed to help them. Not. It's almost like an abused. What are those abused homes called? That it's a shelter. It could be like a shelter in a sense, right? Mm-hmm. Now, one of the things that kind of crossed my mind was, say you got arrested, and you're kind of near your end. Are there people around when the release spots so that you can get information? Like, how would they get information about your organization or about anybody that would be supportive in helping a woman get out of it?
Well, there are people that have our information that they will come in contact with, for one. So they'll get information for us and other organizations, and then they can decide who they want to contact.
Now, are you located in the Antelope Valley?
Yes, we are.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do you work with Lancaster or Palmdale Sheriff's Department? I mean, let's say, as an example, they pick up a girl and for prostitution.
Would they want to go to the police?
What? No, hear me out.
Okay.
Say they happen to pick up a girl for prostitution, okay, or she gets arrested, right? And the deputy wants to be able to say, you know what, if you're done with this, and she said she's done, what, am I saying something wrong?
No,
go
at
ahead.
least have a pamphlet or something. There's somebody where you can go.
What is it, Angelina?
Go ahead.
What? No.
Yeah,
No,
because that's what the sheriff say. Oh, honey. Go ahead.
Oh, Miss Andy Sheriff.
Okay. Kate.
Yes.
Kate, does
some of us have
does the sheriff's
views on
department
the
know what
sheriff's
you're doing and they're to try to support you if there's a girl and she needs referral? Or not? Or do you need an introduction?
Yeah, we could always use another introduction. Some of them know who we are.
Okay.
But
we can help with that.
That's great.
That's what I'm asking.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Well, it's all about people helping people.
Right.
It really is, and it would be wonderful if that would be the case. But I just find it very unlikely that as they're arresting you for whatever, that they're doing that. I just find it unlikely. And I think, and I don't know the business at all, but I would think that the girl would be looking at him like, you just want me to help you out.
I know what you're saying, and we've had those problems.
Yeah.
But that's not what I'm talking about.
They can hand off a pamphlet once they get to the station.
These guys think that, these guys they just...
Okay. All right. Forget, just disregard whatever she's thinking. Okay? All right, Kate. So, here in Antelope Valley, what is it that you're doing for the girls up here? I know you've got jewelry and stuff, and
right.
That's a form of therapy.
They actually get paid. It's not just therapy. They do get paid for it. It's the statistics show that 89% of women in the sex industry said they would leave but have no other means of survival. So we're offering them a way to get started. We're teaching them a skill, and we're teaching them how to run a business. So it's a start.
Now, they're used to making, though, if you're caught up, if you're in a club and you're stripping or a prostitute, you can make big bucks, right?
Yes.
Right?
But you're not really keeping those.
You're making
money.
big bucks for somebody.
It's nothing great about it. Even
Sometimes you're not keeping the money,
right.
So hypothetically, we're just saying, that they have a lot of money, but that's not necessarily always the case. And even if they do, there comes a time when you look at yourself in the mirror and just say, what am I doing? This isn't who I was created to be. This isn't what I want to do with my life. And so that's when we're there for them, when they get to that place.
What was that breakdown you gave before the show about having to give a percentage to all these different people?
Oh, in the strip club, you mean?
Yeah, in the strip club.
Oh,
I said so much had to go to some. And
I'm sorry, what was the question?
You said so much money had to go to...
Oh, yeah,
right. A house mom.
So when you work in some of the clubs that you work in, you have to pay. So, even what you make, let's say you don't have anyone else taking your money, but what you make at the end of the night is not what you're going to walk out with, because you have to pay your, you have your DJ, you have your bouncers, you have your house mom, you have your bartender, your, different people in the club that you have to pay before you leave. So,
and what's a house mom? Is that like a madam, or is it?
She's kind of there to take care of the girls. Sometimes,
scheduling, managing,
sort of helping with costumes or just little needs the girls may have. There are good ones and there are bad ones. Some are just more exploitation on the girls, but so I wanted to tell you that there is an estimated in the U.S. 400,000 women employed in strip clubs.
That's a lot of girls.
Well, and then so we know that 89% of them said they would leave if they had a way out.
So we need to help them with the way out.
So that's huge.
I noticed that you can host a party.
Yes, you can.
Ooh. What number could you call if you wanted to host a party?
You can reach us at our website, which is www.cherishedhighdesert.com. You can even shop online for the jewelry the girls are making at mytradesofhope.com/cherish. And we're also having a fair trade sort of a Christmas shopping party for people who want to come and support Fair Trade on National Fair Trade Day, which is December 3rd. And if you're interested in that, you can contact us at 214-3020 for more information.
I think that's awesome.
Now, are some of the
photocopy of that?
Okay.
Some of the, like in the Antelope Valley, are we talking about? We'll see on the news, undercover cops or Vice raided a place on Sierra Highway or 18 guys. Are we talking about that kind of situation, or are we talking about something completely different?
Yeah, that kind of situation.
I'm not really sure what your question is.
Or a brothel kind of situation? Or
No. No.
And those exist as well.
Right.
Out here?
No. Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yes.
She's looking at me like, the poor girl. She has no clue.
Well, I didn't either.
It's okay.
So we share a bubble, too. You think it's just Steve and I in a bubble.
I didn't
either.
either.
One that you float in.
But you got to think that, we've got... There's 400,000 people up here in the Antelope Valley. You got to believe that that's going on.
Yeah. What's the average age?
Well, the average age that a girl gets sucked into prostitution, lured in, I should say, is between 12 to 14. Yeah, and a lot of girls work in clubs underage. They can get a fake ID and get in there. So.
No, we've talked to Supervisor Mike Antonovich and Norm Hickling about this, and and they're really looking at this because of the teenage trafficking. Okay, is way out of control, and the numbers in recent years have shot way up. I mean, but like Kate just said, 12 years old.
Yeah, but I think I have issue with what
where are
you
the
just
parents?
said.
Yeah.
Because it's not just about the fact that they're young. These women are abused, regardless of the age. One of the things that I love now is that it's called human trafficking now. So it's not a glamorized little title. Like, if you want to be a prostitute, if you want to make that choice for yourself, go ahead. And the guys are called Johns. I can't wait for the title of clients to go away, because that still puts a little nicety on these men that are taking abuse. That are abusing these women in this manner. But I would just love for the day to come where they're not picking up these women off the streets. They're going after hard whoever's picking them up, these guys.
It's funny that you mentioned, I just came back from Tennessee, and in the state of Tennessee, they have a John school. If a guy gets arrested for pimping, he has to pay $300 to go to John school, and that revenue goes to an organization like ours is that helps women.
Oh, that's great.
Yes, I think that's awesome.
That's great. And their picture should be on the nightly news.
But I want to back up and tell you something about, even when you were talking about your niece, we have to realize that in such an image-driven culture that women can become easily comfortable with being sexualized. So it's very, we're sending the message to these young girls that their value is in their sexuality.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, like Miley Cyrus on the upcoming music awards, swinging on that ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or bikinis for 6-year-olds. I just
toddlers
think
and tiaras
it's
and all.
ridiculous.
Well, that's crazy stuff.
Yeah,
the
it
toddlers
is
and
crazy.
tiara stuff.
Well, it just makes me want to kill.
That's not.
Now Where's DCFS for that?
Yeah, no, I know. Now, Cherished really thrives. You need donations to be able to help the girls because you go full circle.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, we do. We need donations. So I would like to ask your listeners to consider this year, since it's Christmas, and I remember for myself, Christmas was a really lonely time.
I bet.
It's a reminder of the family you're not with,
Right.
or may not even have, in your life. And it just kind of brings everything home. And so I would really like to ask your listeners to consider that this year they might give a gift to someone who can't give back. And they can do that by giving a tax-deductible gift to Cherish.
Now, hey, Jeff, can we put something for Cherish?
I am already
on that?
designing the page in my head. Yep.
Okay, so we'll put something on the AVNewsCast.com website.
Please.
That'll redirect them over to you.
You have a PayPal?
Yes,
account?
we do.
Okay, good.
Okay, so that's all good.
Yeah, I'll have it all set up.
Yeah, but with the holidays, and it's not just the holidays, though. We're all parents. Many of the listeners are parents. Imagine if this is your child that gets caught up in this. And imagine the teenage child that wants to get out and can't get out.
Right.
Or the foster kids.
It broke my heart.
Foster kid that has no resources to get out.
Many years ago, I went to the In-N-Out over here. I had just gotten done working a night shift, and I was coming in, and there was this girl. She couldn't have been more than 11 or 12. And she was dirty, and she offered to exchange sex for a hamburger.
Yeah.
And I said, why don't we just do the hamburger thing? And I took her in and got her a burger and asked her, and she said there's no way she could go home. And I said, but, everybody you meet out there isn't going to be as nice as me. I said, there's something worse that can happen to you out here than whatever is waiting for you at home. Please go home.
Where do you learn that? Obviously, I'm just guessing that she came from an abusive home. At 11 or 12, I can't even comprehend. I guess that's what I'm saying. Maybe I'm so naive.
Yeah.
I cannot even comprehend just what a child like that is going through and what they came from.
Oh, no, there are all kinds of situations where mom chooses a stepfather over the daughter. And the
absolutely.
Yes.
You're done.
Absolutely.
Or the stepfather's in there for the daughter, not the...
Woody Allen, did I say that?
Yeah.
And you could have a girl who gets pregnant from her boyfriend, and mom and dad are just so embarrassed. They kick her out. She goes to live with the boyfriend's mom and dad's house, and all of a sudden somebody in there starts to get jealous or abusive, and some of these girls, they just have no way of knowing what to do in DCF, maybe a school counselor, and they end up in the foster care system. And then you've got this girl that is just all of a sudden, her whole world has just been exploded, and she is now vulnerable, and she doesn't know what to do, and her friends are abandoning her, and she's just alone. Right. She ends up on the street, in and out, asking for a hamburger. Or she ends up out in the camp, one of the homeless camps out in the desert. And she just doesn't know what to do, and she knows there's a better life, and so she can do some other things, and all of a sudden she has a shower, she has clothes, she has a car.
And we have to take a break.
We're getting the break music over there.
He's got the music playing. Stand by. You're listening to AVNewsCast.com, and we'll be right back.
If you're thinking about getting your backyard in shape for entertaining, there's only one place to shop, and that's Avnc Outdoors in Palmdale. At Avnc Outdoors in Palmdale, you'll save up to 70% off retail every day at our factory warehouse showroom. Avnc has everything you need to get your backyard in shape, like 7.5-foot tall, 41,000 BTU, freestanding LPG patio heaters for just $159.99. How about a fully enclosed backyard gazebo? Fire up that barbecue and enjoy a nice meal inside one of our Mandalay, Trinidad, or Mykonos freestanding gazebos. Just $219.97 every day. If you want wholesale prices, come to Avnc Outdoors in Palmdale. How about backyard shade or car canopies? You can pick a variety of color choices starting at just $129.97. Stop by Avnc Outdoors in Palmdale. We're located at 38940 Trade Center Drive, 1 block east of 10th Street West. The Avnc Factory Showroom is open from 8 to 4 every day. That's Avnc Outdoors at 38940 Trade Center Drive in Palmdale, where you'll save up to 70% off retail every day. Check us out on the web at avnc.com or give us a call at 661-480-1562.
Hi, folks. I'm Chuck Simons, a realtor with Keller Williams. Are you finding yourself buried in your house payment, completely stressed out and don't know what to do? Please listen to what I'm about to tell you. First, understand that you are not the only one that's having problems. Many folks in the Antelope Valley are going through the same thing. What's most important right now is that you take control. Just because you've been turned down for a loan modification or received a notice of default doesn't mean you can't be in control. You own the property still. You can be in control, and I can help. I know how stressful it is. I know what it is to be in the dark on this. I've helped a lot of people in the Antelope Valley, but you have to take action. Call me, Chuck Simons, at 661-350-1006. I want to help you. My team and I will meet with you for free, and we'll go over your options. Don't just sit back, bury your head, and lose your house to foreclosure. I can help you, but you have to call. 661-350-1006. Together, we'll draw up a roadmap to relieving the stress. Just because you're not able to make the payments on your house doesn't mean you don't have options. You do. I can and I will help you negotiate a short sale with your bank. I'll explain all the benefits and how you can rebuild your credit. Call me, Chuck Simons, at 661-350-1006. Let's solve your problems together today.
And welcome back to AVNewsCast.com on News Talk 1380.
You know, we've done a lot of shows and talking about some very touchy topics. And I know that there are listeners out there that a mom or a dad or a grandparent or whatever is listening to this right now saying, oh, this is what I need to make a phone call. I need to do whatever. And I get that it's uncomfortable to call us live and be on the air.
Absolutely.
And I totally understand that. But I can tell when people are texting me during the show that they're listening to this.
Right.
So, you know, Kate, if somebody knows somebody, okay, that needs help, or maybe they just got out but needs support, okay, to stay out, Again, give them your phone number and how can they reach you. And if they call, are they getting an answer machine? Are they going to get you direct? What do they do? What's the process?
They can call 661-214-3020. And normally they will get me on the phone, but they may have to leave a message, and then I will get back to them depending on what's going on. So.
Okay, so, if you know somebody or you have a problem yourself, all you have to do is pick up the phone. Kate's a great person, and we were talking to her, before she came on the show. And actually, Chuck Simon's actually arranged this, and I know that if Chuck's involved, it's all good.
Yeah.
And I can tell from talking to Kate that, she was caught up in this and then went full circle and now spends her life trying to make sure that girls don't go through what she went through or have an opportunity to get out and see that, life is a lot better. I can help you. I can show you ways to make it a lot better. So you need to pick up the phone.
Yeah, I mean, it's...
You got to call. So, and it's local. It's 661-214-3020. We will try to make some contacts for you, and we're going to put a link from your website up on our website. So you can also go to AVNewsCast.com, or you can go to Kate's website, which is CherishedHighDesert.com, and there's all kinds of information up there. You can read more about Kate's story. She's also got a tab up there, 5 ways you can help. Okay, and she goes through the 5 different ways that you can help. And, even if you're not caught up in this, but you want to help somebody that is, get involved. It's not that hard. And it doesn't make any difference whether it's $5, $10. If you can donate, that's great. Maybe you can even supply a gift. Whatever it is that you can do or provide support for somebody that wants to turn their life around, that's what it's all about.
There's nothing more important.
No.
We do have her on the AV Sunrise Rotary. She is one of our groups that we are going to be supporting this year.
Beautiful.
Really?
Yes.
Thank you.
Oh, right on.
Because
AV Sunrise Rotary.
Yeah. I'm watching the time. But we have a no event where we're raising funds to help families like this. And they are on our list to help.
Oh, that's good. I didn't know that, Kate. That's a good thing.
I
You didn't
know.
tell me that.
That's how I met her. I met her through Grace Fest, Antelope Valley Children's Charities, and then Terry Lee Harrison brought her in. She's the pastor's wife over at Quartz Hill Christ Community Church, and that's how I was face to face introduced to her.
Terry Lee's been on the show.
Yeah, she
Yes.
is.
Right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And then at Grace Fest, and Kate, you mentioned that Yvette gave you tickets to actually give to some of the girls to go to Grace Fest.
Yes.
Nice.
And you were successful, and a number of girls took you up on that and went there.
Yes, they did. It was amazing. It was a great time to be able to just talk to them, in a very safe environment and just let them know what we're all about and give them all of our information. And we just showered them with as many gifts as we could when they came, and because we just want them to know that they are valued and they have a purpose and they're cherished, and that's our message to the girls.
Are you still in touch with the girls that went?
Yes, a few of them.
You are?
Yes.
And out of that, and I don't mean to put you on the spot, but were they involved in prostitution, were involved in trafficking, and they're trying to get out now?
I can't really tell their stories, but they are calling us because they need us.
Well, that's all good. That's what it's about, right?
Yes.
I mean, that's taking the first step.
Yes.
And that's what you have to do. Chuck, thanks for the intro to Kate.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you.
And Kate, thanks for taking the time to be on the show.
Thank you so much.
And we'll do what we can to help you out. And if you want to help them out, just give us a call. If you're caught up and you want to get out, it's easy. It's 661-214-3020. Or go to avnewscast.com. We'll put a link up there. Or go direct to Kate's website, which is CherishedHighDesert.com. All right?
Thank
All right.
you.
You've been listening to AV Newscast on News Talk Radio 1380, the #1 News Talk radio program in the Antelope Valley. Have a safe and wonderful day, and we'll be back tomorrow at 8 a.m.